Hey, hi all. How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to the channel again. Let's discuss about component, styling in today's lecture. So there are multiple ways using, which we can give styles to Angular components. Um, as you have learned creating the first component in our components video, right? So using the ng command, we create components, and after creation of component it gives us four files. The first one is .css file, the second one is .html, the third one is .ts, and the fourth one is specs.ts file. The specs.ts file is nothing but used for the testing purpose. And as you can see, if I show you the Visual Studio Code, you will see these kind of four files whenever you create a component, right? And now if you inspect, or if you visit the component itself, you will find these two things, template URL and style URL over there. So inside template URL, it refers to the template HTML template, and style URL refers to the CSS file itself. So this is one way of giving style, and which is a default way of giving styles to Angular components, but there are other ways as well, right? So first we will look into the styles property of this component decorator we have. So let's give styles property. If I hover on this, it actually expects string or string array or undefined. So if you are new to these multiple types declaration, so I would recommend you to go and watch my TypeScript playlist. There I have created a video on union type data type, so you can go and watch that so that you will understand what it means actually, right? So it either takes string array or undefined. So um, let's give a string to this. So I'm giving a string, after that comma, so inside string. So first let's add one tag over here. So let's say I have span the styles for this will gets applied from styles property. Okay, so now let's copy this and go to this. I just give span color red, right? So if I save this and if I go and look into this, you can see the style for this will gets applied from the styles property from the component, right? So this is nothing but a gray red. So let's make it bolder a little bit after a semicolon, let's say, right? So now it actually got applied to this. So the font fit bolder and the color is getting applied from the styles. And we have another variant of it. We can use multiple styles using as it expects string array. So we can give another string over here, and inside this string we can give another styles, right? So let me copy the styles again, span, copy this, and let's say text align center, copy this, sorry, save this, and as you can see, text align center also has been applied to this, and which is coming from the, it says it's coming from the CSS file, but it's coming from the styles, right? So we have seen using styles attribute how we can give styles in string array or a particular single string as well, using single string as well. So now let's look at style URLs. Now we have a URL over here, right? So if I comment it out, I have another variant of it. It is nothing but a style URLs, and here I can add multiple CSS files. I can refer them. Let me copy this and giving comma. Let's add the test.css file, test.css file as well. Now let's add one more element over here. Let's say h1, h3. Let's say this is the styles for this will get applied from, let's say, test.css file. So we will apply styles for this from the test.css file. Let's say h3 color is nothing but, let's say, blue. Copy it, and you can see the styles are getting applied from the test.css file. Now let's add, we do have already a CSS file, so the h1 is already there, so let's add the h1 as well. Let's copy this, right, from component CSS file, right, from component CSS file. So as you can see, the color is gray, which actually applied to this h1, right. Now this is nothing but a style URLs we have in the TS file. So we have seen the styles getting applied from both this file. So if you have more than 2 files, 3 files, 4 files combined, so you can give path for them as well, right. Now another thing is we can make use of a HTML template as well. Now we have a template URL over here. So this is a HTML template. So let's give styles over here as well. I'm giving style tag. Let's say I have a h4 tag over here, and the styles for this will get supplied from component HTML file, component HTML file, right. Now h4, I'll just give color as, let's say, yellow. If I save everything, you can see the yellow h5 is getting color from the HTML file, right. So this is how you can make use of the HTML file as well, right. Now we have another file created over here, test1.css. So let's link that file as well. So you can link the external file in the HTML template using link tag. Now it should rel like a style sheet. Then we have href attribute. Or here we'll just mention test1.css, and to style coming from the test1.css, we need to add one more element over here. Let's say I have added a div element. Inside that, let's add a p tag. This is p under div. Now do we have a p tag already? Right, so we have this p tag already. So whatever styles applied for this p will get applied on this, right. But that is okay, but from the test1.css file we are giving height and width to this div. So let's say height 100 pixel and width 100 pixel. I'm saving everything, right. So as you can see, the div which has, okay, so let me save. Is there anything I did not saved? Test1 is there, HTML file is there. Let me see. Right, so it has applied height and width to this div and the color. So actually this div is not getting color from this, so let's add color for that as well, because the color for this p is we are adding from the from where we are adding this test.css file, right? Not here. Okay, where is, let's see from where it is getting applied. Okay, so we did not add any kind of styles to this p. Let's add styles as well. To from test1.css, let's add styles for p as well. um let's say hash, or maybe light blue, let's say, right? So as you can see now, dark blue, right? So as you can see now, the dark blue color is getting applied to this and to this as well, right? So this is how you can link to the external style sheet in the HTML template as well, right? There is one more way how we can apply styles. So it is nothing but global style, right? So if you go to the styles.css file, so this actually CSS file gets used as a global CSS file, and the reference for it is actually under angular.json file. So here we can give the references for all CSS file which we need to use as a global CSS files, right? So this is our project demo angular app, and then inside that we have a styles key, and it actually has string array. So here in a string we need to pass, or we need to write down the path for that particular file. Okay, so let's add some styles inside the styles.css file. So for that, let me create a new div with id global div. Let's say here we have a p tag. This is p under global div. Now we want to add styles for this both. Let's copy this id, and I'm going to styles.css file. Using that id, I'm giving background color as brown, let's say, and height, let's say 50 pixel, and width 50 pixel. And for the p of that particular div, let's add a style for that as well. Font size, let's say 30 pixel, right? So now if I reload this, you can see this is the div which has a background color as red, and the style for this is actually coming from the styles.css file, as you can see in the right side in the inspector view, right? And the p style for that p as well coming from the styles.css file. So here, from here, we can change the styles. Let's say 8 pixels. So 8 pixels actually fitting inside that div. So this is how you can apply styles from global CSS file as well. Another way is using templates. So right now we have a template URL over here. Let me comment it down, right? And let me, instead of template URL, let me write down the template over here. And I'm using backtick character over here to write down the HTML, right? So you cannot see any HTML over here right now because we have removed the reference of this HTML file, and right now the template, the inline template is empty. So what we can do, we can just simply copy this and paste it over here. Now because we are using backtick character, so that's the reason we are able to add a string in a multi-line. Okay, so let me add this little bit format thing, and if I save everything and come on the browser, so as you can see everything is as it is, right? So the difference over here is, if you have any a small components like showing toaster or alerts kind of thing, in that case you can use template, right? We will learn more about this in upcoming videos, like templates, template statements, template variables we have. Then we have SVGs as a template, right? So we can use those as well for icon, showing icon purpose. We'll learn in upcoming videos, but for now there are two things we can use to render HTML. The first one is template and the second one is template URL. So for template URL you need to reference a file name, the HTML file name, but inside a template, if you have 5 to 10 lines of code, 5 to 10 lines of HTML code, then you can write down inside a template. Okay, so this is how there are, these are kind of different ways you can apply styles to any Angular component. So I hope you have liked this video. If you like it, so then hit like on like button, then share this video with your friends. Do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any new updates coming from this channel. Thanks all guys, let's meet in next video.